They're 11-0 against the Jets. They've never lost to the Jets since 1973 when the series started. That's almost 50 years. They've never lost to the New York Jets.
Football 24/7 with NFL insider John McMullen across the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, all presented by Stateside Vodka. Of course, John McMullen is presented by Stateside Vodka here on a Thursday night. Eagles back to work following the Wednesday workout. Back to work today as they begin to look and prepare for the next game on the 2021 schedule, and that is the JETS Jets. Johnny Mack, bring us up to speed on what you know from practice today. How active was Jalen Hurts? Were there any updates on Jalen Hurts? Anything different from yesterday? What do you know?
No, Jalen was practicing, so there's no doubt. I think the bigger question this week is when it comes to Jalen Hurts, not only with Jalen, but also Miles Sanders, Jason Kelce. Those guys are going to try to play. So the question becomes, how effective will they be? And in some cases, in the case of Miles, for instance, is he going to finish the game as he deals with this nagging ankle injury? But, the three players that didn't practice today were Jordan Howard, who it doesn't look like he's going to be able to go. So he's going to probably miss his second straight game with a sprained knee. Jason Kelce, who is more resting as they try to get him through the week. And the evidence there was with the first team at center was Brett Toth. Now, if they were concerned about Jason not playing, Nate Herbig would be there because they would have to get him ready to play center in the game. But Jack Driscoll's now out, so Nate Herbig was at right guard. So, in other words, the fact that they had Nate Herbig at right guard indicates they know Jason Kelce's going to play at center, and he's going to give it a go, which will be his, I believe, 118th consecutive start at center for the Philadelphia Eagles. So Jason's going to try to play, and Miles Sanders spoke to us today. So two things there. They don't let players who they don't think are going to play speak to the media. So he's obviously going to try to play. But again, he tried to play last week, and he was playing well. He was playing effectively, and he tweaked the ankle. And you could make a case because remember, Krause, the week after this is the bye for the Eagles, late season bye. So, maybe it would be more prudent to sit Miles Sanders down to try to get him healthy for those final four games, which are all in the division. Remember, 2 against Washington, Giants again, Dallas. But they're not going to have Jordan Howard, so they can't afford it. And the other player was Boston Scott, who's just sick, non-COVID illness. So the summation there is he's going to be able to play. But without Jordan Howard, you kind of need Miles Sanders out there.
Johnny Mack, who was on the microphone today? Did Jalen speak today?
No, Jalen spoke yesterday, which is his normal day, Wednesdays. Last week he spoke on Friday, but that was because of the holiday and some different schedule changes. You didn't have as much time to get ready, so they flipped it a little bit. A lot of guys. I'm looking at my phone. Everything runs together. Fletcher Cox spoke today. Anthony Harris, Jake Elliott, who was named NFC Special Teams Player of the Month this morning. So congratulations to Jake. who had a perfect month, by the way, hit all his field goals, all his extra points. Miles spoke, as I mentioned, Avonte Maddox, Alex Singleton, Landon Dickerson. So that's a good cross section of who was speaking today.
Johnny Mack, you mentioned Alex Singleton. He's was there, then he was not. Now he's back. How do you assess his play since the moving parts have now brought an injury have now brought him back into starting again?
I think Alex has played okay. I think he played well last week. I think when he was the starter at the beginning of the season, he didn't play as well as he had down when he took over in 2020. And that's what kind of opened the door for Davion Taylor to get into the mix. And it's one of those things. And this happened to Miles Sanders when he was a rookie. He was, I think a lot of people forget, he was the starter as a rookie. He didn't play well. He got essentially benched, knocked down to the number 2 for Jordan Howard. Then Jordan Howard got hurt. He went back into the lineup and he played really well. I think it's a little similar with Alex Singleton. He was not playing well before, was benched for Davion Taylor, who gets injured, and he comes back in. He's starting to play a little bit better. So maybe it works out in a similar type way.
Jalen Hurts will be the starter on Sunday. Is the backup ready to go if needed? Is he getting?
He better be.
Is he getting any play, any reps with the first team? Is he more involved at all, just in case?
Well, we won't know that until tomorrow. We get kicked out long before teamwork begins, and Nick Sirianni will talk to us tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and we'll get a better indication on how we split up work for this week. The indication was that he would get a little bit more work, Gardner Minshew, than he typically does as the backup quarterback, which is no first team reps. So if it's a 90-10 split, even if it's that, that's more than he would typically get. So I do think Nick will say that there was a little bit more of a mixing in, but there's little doubt that Jalen Hurts is going to be the starter. Other than if he gets injured at practice, he obviously got through today fine. So now we're down to Friday, which is more of a scaled back practice. So I don't see any problems moving forward.
The fact that they gave him just a little bit, even if it was the 90-10, John, as you mentioned, is that an indicator that potentially Jalen could have trouble, when you get into the game on Sunday? I don't mean play. I don't mean from a play standpoint. I just mean from either an ankle standpoint, or he may not be able to go, or he could depart early.
Yeah, it's an indication he's got a bad ankle and he was limping around. Same as Miles Sanders. I mean, they're hopeful Miles is going to go, and Miles says he's going to go. But, he was unable to finish last week's game. And, what has changed? He was asked that today. What's changed that you couldn't get back in? Now you can get back in. Obviously, there's some rest involved, but he said he's working on some new exercises. Look, those ankle sprains, it's not like you're an offensive lineman. If you're playing quarterback and you're the type of quarterback Jalen Hurts is, or you're playing running back like Miles Sanders, Not like you can hide in a phone booth. You got to go. You got to move. So if it's not feeling good and, they have to go in a different direction, you got to be ready for that. It's about a contingency plan. And that's what Nick said on Wednesday. You always have to have a contingency plan.
John, let me get your thoughts to how important is it for the Eagles to win the game on Sunday? And I'm not asking just to ask. I believe there's the meaning of the game, and then I believe there's some significant other variables that will surface if they don't win the game.
They got to win this game. I mean, they've never lost to the New York Jets. Now, a lot of that is meaningless. I mean, they don't play the Jets that often, except in the preseason, but we're talking regular season. They're 11-0 against the Jets. They've never lost to the Jets since 1973, when the series started. That's almost 50 years. They've never lost to the New York Jets. Now, again, most of these players, all of them, some guys have been around for a while and played the Jets, guys like Jason Kelce, Fletcher Cox, the veteran players, but doesn't mean much to them. Certainly doesn't mean much to a rookie coaching staff here in Philadelphia or a rookie coaching staff in New York with Robert Saleh. Doesn't mean anything from a logic sense, but 48 years is 48 years. And again, if you go up the turnpike 2 weeks in a row and you lose to two of the worst teams in football, because that's what New York football is right now, just two disastrous teams, that's ugly. That is really, really ugly. So it's very important, even if you don't even take into account the playoff picture. And as far as the playoffs go, it's such a jumbled mess, with Washington, Atlanta, New Orleans is playing tonight. And I got news for people. You're down screwballs. They should root for the Cowboys if they want the Eagles to make the playoffs, because it's better for them if the Saints lose, because they're not going to catch the Cowboys. San Francisco, Minnesota, all these teams, it's just a cauldron of teams. And guess what? Every week, one or two of them is going to win. So if you keep losing, that's bad news.
Football 24/7 with NFL insider John McMullen. Our Thursday report here across the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, all presented by Stateside Vodka. As John mentioned, Thursday night, if you're in the Philadelphia region, we, of course, are live with our countdown to kickoff. We have a great time here on a Thursday night. And, of course, John McMullen will join us 1 week from tonight here at Screwballs. We'll roll out the red carpet for Johnny Mack, and we'll look to bring Jody Mack out here, and maybe we'll get your producer Xander Krause out here next week, and we'll have a full house as we always do on Thursday nights, Johnny Mack, because this is a slice or a accurate representation of being a Philadelphia Eagle fan.
So that's what I'm worried about. I need Colin Thompson. I need my bodyguard. Can we get him up from Carolina?
As much angst as there is, or as much vitriol that was in the air all week after that loss to the Giants, we'll do Eagle chants tonight. We'll predict victory over the Jets tonight. We'll sing the fight song tonight. We'll send a half a dozen people up to the game on Sunday, and it will all be good until Sunday, and then we'll see what happens. You got to predict a win, John. Are you ready to make a prediction? I know it's a short report tonight. Will this Eagle team win the game on Sunday, or do you see a way to a loss on Sunday, Johnny Mack?
There's always a chance to lose an NFL game. And I said the same thing with the Giants game, and they lost that. But this one is more about unsolved mysteries. Look, again, 48 years, the longest streak in NFL history, franchise versus franchise, of one team not being able to beat the other. 11-0. The next one, I believe, is 5-0, which is somebody against the Houston Texans who haven't been around that long. But the Eagles always beat the Jets. They'll find a way to beat the Jets.
All right. Good stuff from John McMullen here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. It's football 24/7. Back on Birds 365, I presume, tomorrow with Jody Mack. And then, of course, the game on Sunday. And then you'll see Johnny Mack on the live post-game show.
Tell Sandra to bring the stateside vodka, Krause.
He's holding on. He's holding it in the studio. I got to get him to shake loose, Johnny Mack. Good stuff tonight, Johnny Mack. Oh, and before we go, Johnny Mack.
Like, share, and subscribe.
All right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time, everybody.